I'm not getting mistake. I'm gonna check the things out. Awesome. Yeah, tell.
Call the regular session of the Isabel County Board of Commissioners to order. Stand for the pledge, please.
United States of America. To the republic which advances one nation. Indivisible with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Hutchinson.
Here.
Commissioner Embry.
Here.
Commissioner Jazinski. Commissioner Ingber. Commissioner Marino. Commissioner Swaney. Commissioner Hopel. All present, Mr. Chairman.
Next will be all of the agenda. We'll start with general public comments. We have presentations or special reports and appointments of boards or commissions. Just down to the consent agenda. We'll move to file the consent agenda, and then committee reports. Finance and Administration Committee.
Finance and Administration Committee, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And the Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
The Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee is on set.
Thank you. And Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Human Resources and Public Works Committee is on set, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We have no intergovernmental affairs, no administrator controller issues, no unfinished business under new business. We've got a proposal from Spicer Group for architectural and engineering services for rebuilding the county administration building. Item number 2 under new business, we're not prepared to move forward with it. And then we'll have general public comment again, and then announcements and adjournment. So with that, is there a motion to remove item number 2 under new business?
So moved.
Or.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye. Very good. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I move we approve the agenda as amended. Sorry.
Been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have an amended agenda. And that brings us to general public comments. Anyone for general public?
Good evening. My name is David McGuire. I live in the city of Mount Pleasant. I wanted to address something regarding the millage proposal this evening. And then I also wanted to submit a list of questions to you folks that maybe talk about that in a second. But I was at your last meeting. I didn't speak, listened to lots of people have opinions and speak. I kind of wanted to get a lay of the land. After that meeting, you folks put out a flyer I saw on in several places. And also, there's been a couple things in the paper that that I've talked to you about. What I picked up is, number one, seems like you folks are rather upset or find these signs that some of these folks have put out that say 38% tax increase. You think that's disingenuous, which you're entitled to your opinion, that's fair enough. However, I would like to talk about when you put this flyer out, the big thing you seem to be hanging your hats on is that the millage rate of 6.61 mils. Well, first of all, I do think, even though you might think it's disingenuous, I think we can agree that 2.5 is almost approximately 38% of 6.61. I hope everybody agrees on the math. But you guys put out that 6.61 mils has been the operating millage since 1978, and it hasn't changed. And although that's technically true, I guess I want to address that on two levels. Number one, I think hopefully everybody here knows, and I hope the people, if anybody's watching this, a millage rate is based on a percentage of property value. Although the percentage hasn't changed, the number, the 6.61 mils, since 1978, Isabella County has had hundreds of millions of dollars in increased property. Meaning the county of Isabella has collected millions more dollars every year in tax revenue. It's not like it's been a stagnant income, which that kind of flies, I think, saying it hasn't changed since 1978. The other argument that it hasn't changed since 1978 is this. In 1978, 6.61 mils paid for the Commission on Aging, Recreation, and the Medical Care Facility, all of which have their own millages now. So the taxpayers are paying approximately 9 mils for what they used to pay 6.61 mils. So to say that hasn't changed, you are correct. The operating millage hasn't changed. Those folks are correct too. 2.5 is 38% of 6.61. So the idea that it hasn't changed, like I said, once again, taxpayers are paying 9 mils, 8.98, I believe. No one misspeak. That's pretty close to 9. We'll round that to 9 mils for what they used to get for 6.61. So I guess my point is, if those signs are disingenuous, that argument is equally so, if not worse, because it has changed. It just technically has. But we're paying a lot more than we used to for the same stuff. Now, that being said, I've given you guys a list of questions. I'm going to read through them just because, in case people are watching this meeting, I hope they are. I think these are important questions. It might actually help your cause if you can answer them. It certainly would inform me a bit. I think about other people. So I'm just going to read through them. And, my suggestion would be, I doubt you can answer them tonight, but if you could put them on your website and answer them, I think it might help you out. Or at least help everybody understand what's going on. I see from your budget document, you are planning a feasibility study this year for retrofitting the jail for a juvenile care facility. Did you ever conduct a similar study for upgrading the current jail? In the Morning Sun last week, it was stated that the approved jail project is not over budget. Have there been any, and by the way, your agenda kind of addressed that, but have there been any change orders for the new jail? The 2024 budget document says the project will undergo several change orders throughout fiscal year 2024. Number 3, why build a 180-bed jail when you are averaging 135 inmates and incarceration rates are projected to decrease nationwide? Number 4, why is the millage request for 6 years? This one I am kind of curious about. I'm really interested in what's going to happen in 6 years that you're not going to need the money. Seems like it would be an ongoing deal. Which, if any, dedicated or restricted funds are holding IOUs from the general fund, and for what amount? I think that will help us understand. I don't know. I tell you what, I teach finance at the university level. And I often tell my students, what boards often do, the first two things people do when they're in financial trouble is they cut back on maintenance and they start raiding funds. Sometimes you can't use that money, but you can borrow. So I'm just asking if y'all have done that. MCL 46.11F says the County Board of Commissioners can borrow to erect a county building for a public function, and the loan must be repaid in 30 years. In your budget document, you state the loan payment to the USDA has become one of the most stable factors of our long-term financial forecast, with its attractive 2.125% interest rate locked in for 40 years. So I'm interested to know, could you explain how you can enter into a 40-year loan, making 40-year amortized payments, and still comply with that statement that says you have to pay it off in 30 years? You have been adamant about clearing up misinformation. This one, hopefully we can take. You've been adamant about clearing up misinformation. There is a rumor that the sheriff intends to revoke the deputization of the city police and CMU police if this millage fails. I'm assuming this is just a rumor. If you can clear that one up, that would be great. And then number 8, the last one is, what is Plan B? I know there's been there again, that's rumors. They're gonna cut this, they're gonna do that. If you folks could lay that out, that would, maybe you don't know. But if you knew what Plan B was and you could explain it to people, I think that would help a lot too. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else for general?
Do not at this time, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Seeing no other general public comment, we'll move along. We have no presentations or special reports, movements, and boards of commissions. Brings us down to the consent agenda. Commissioner Embry, would you present that to us, please?
Motion read, move to approve and place on file January 16th, 2024 work session meeting minutes, January 16th, 2024 regular meeting minutes, January 30th, 2024 finance and administration committee meeting minutes, the January 30th, 2024 criminal justice county affairs committee meeting minutes, and the January 30th, 2024 human resources and public works committee meeting minutes.
It's been moved and supported to approve and place on file the consent agenda. Any further discussion there? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Brings us down to committee reports, finance and administration.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First item of business is January 12, 2024 invoice list, January 19, 2024 invoice list, the January 26, 2024 invoice list, February 1st, 2024 adjustment list. Motion reads, move to ratify and place on file January 12, 2024 invoice list, the amount of $1,558,313.56. The January 19, 2024 invoice list in the amount of $42,785.75. January 26, 2024 invoice list in the amount of $118,048.83. The adjustment list dated February 1st, 2024.
It's been moved and supported to ratify and place on file the January 12, 2000 list, the January 19, 2024 invoice list, the January 26, 2024 invoice list, and the February 1st, 2024 adjustment list discussion.
So the invoices are presented through the department heads, elected officials to county administration. Then it comes to each of us, emails at homes to be able to review. At that point, it goes to the committee review. And then to the work session, which we had starting at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Finally comes for approval, paper this at the meeting. So we've had many eyes. These bills over, we've had a chance to ask our questions and feel any bills that confused about. Most of the bills seem that they vary dollar amount. That's because a lot of the county dollars are pass-through dollars, tax dollars that are eventually played out to this case on the January 12th list. See, other taxing authorities getting their distribution of taxes. So as I looked at the January 12th list, the comment I made at the work session was that payment to game time, $93,429.25 for a new playground in Carrick Recreation Area. This is supported by grant, Michigan Natural Resource Trust Fund, but also it has other grants coming into place. So that full value of that playground, close to $400,000 is completed. But I didn't have any other questions on any of the bills. Any of the big portion, which is listed when it's over 5,000, but then the document actually has all the bills, quite a few pages on smaller bills. Didn't know if there's any questions now.
Any questions or further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
We'll move on to the January 19th list.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And again, got a chance to look these times. Have any questions or last chance? Is there any questions now? And that's the list. Moving on then to the January 26th list. There's only one bill exceeding that's $8,850 paid to Chuck Moses, defender, legal appointment payment. So, any questions with that? Background material for the smaller bills. Finally, we get to the adjustment list. The adjustment list modifies those previous invoice lists. And modifications are made because we can get an early payment discount, or we avoid a late payment fee because our payment schedule doesn't always line up with our vendors to expect prompt payment. And every once in a while, there's some error in terms of billing error, and I see this one on this one. Usually a small amount because of sales tax or just an error in entry. But there was nothing here that no say cause for concern. My part. Any other questions, concerns on it? Mr. Chairman, ready for the
Okay, hearing no other discussion, Madam Clerk, roll.
Commissioner Jazinski,
yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Hu. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
The finance and administration committee, the prime contract change for 13, park construction. Motion reads, move to approve the prime contract change order 13 to park construction, and net additional amount of $29,069. Authorize the board chair to sign saying.
Support. It's been moved and supported to approve the prime contract change order number 13 with park construction discussion.
During our work session, we had the pleasure of Senior Project Manager Kendall to come in and explain how we arrived at the $29,069 amount. To the point of record here, this amount will not be taken from contingency line, but rather deducted from buyout. Getting that right for the first time. Appreciate that. So the night, as she mentioned, had to do with our irrigation water meter, and a temperature control sensor, bypass, 4,595. We had 4 companies, walk-in cooler and freezer, 13,232. And then we had the food service contract regarding a table for the dish league table, for the dishes. Really shrunk up and valuation drink portion, but when the walls, they came from there, so they had to go back to the original size table. We had our lift station situation where we had to get in the slide rails. So we removed the concrete fillet, the inside of the station, $4,716. Then our dish machine at the correctional facility requires a 10-ring valve for the dishwasher, $652. So again, $2,069.
Very good, yes, sir.
I'd like to point out, we've had change orders, some to in favor of the financing of the jail, sometimes they subtract from it. The jail project is not budget. We haven't touched the budget, the contingency amount yet, we're still dealing with the changes that have been made, still the black on that. Does that mean we won't have it? It's a very technical project, we don't know yet. But with the jail more than halfway finished, we're still on target to finish within budget.
Any other discussion? Here, seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney.
Yeah.
Commissioner Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Commissioner Emery, Commissioner Jazinski, Commissioner Hope. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Next item. Sign the same motion. Move to approve the engagement letter with Thurston Ferdinand LLP and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Or
Been supported to approve the engagement letter with Pearson Ferdinand LLP. Discussion.
So the county is still dealing with a copyright infringement issue. And when we first notified that we did engage contract with a legal firm to represent us in the particular matter. The employees, some of the employees of that firm decided to leave that firm, start their own firm. And so this is pretty much just a housekeeping matter. It doesn't include any increased cost or any representation yet. But it does allow us to authorize this change of legal representation.
Very good. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery.
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Hope.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Number 4 is fiscal year 23 audit change order with Brian. Now, let me get a shot at this, Madam Administrator. So, in our agreement with Brian, motion. 1-3, move to approve the fiscal year 23 audit change order, and then the amount of 2,500 to 3,500, and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the fiscal year 23, that change order with revisit discussion.
So with our agreement with Ryman, we had in the agreement a stipulation that if there were certain items that require testing based on the use of federal dollars, then that would trigger those tests to be done. Those 2 items were the sheriff's office funding through the USDA loan we received for the sheriff's office correctional facility, as well as our ARPA grant money. So it was triggered, and therefore the estimated cost would range from $2,500 to $3,500. I do that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery, Commissioner Jelzinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Next item is change order, quality environmental services, Inc. Move to approve the change order for quality environmental services, Inc. in the amount of $40,030 for the asbestos abatement project.
Or
Been moved and supported to approve the change order from Quality Environmental Services, Inc. Discussion.
So our original contract, quality environmental services was done before everything is opened up. Since they got into the project, they found additional asbestos really related to the interior walls of each floor. What was discovered is that before the laminated fireproofing, which contains the asbestos, was applied on the bottom of each floor. Frameworks for the walls were put in place. So the contractors back then, which at that time there was no concern about the asbestos being a hazard, but it had sprayed it, a number of times, oversprayed the components. We thought we could just open up the walls, get cleaned out, save half the walls, save the framing, and we found out that's not possible. And to clean those walls, we're gonna pay more than just putting up the walls. So we did ask the firm to go ahead and remove the walls on the third floor. So if you could go in the building now, that's just one long cavernous opening. And the walls are still half open. Maybe they haven't started on the second, third, yes, they haven't even started. But you gotta assume it's the same process as they got through the building. So they move the walls now, it's gonna be no additional cost other than price of this contract, because this is work that's already been done on the third floor. They've had to go back and do additional work. So this is the removal of that, the floor, walls on the third floor, and also the cost for disposing of that asbestos-laden material.
Very good. Nice explanation there. Vice Chairman, is there any other discussion, questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney.
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Embry, Commissioner Jelzinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
And our final item is change order from Northern Analytical Services LLC. Motion reads, consider approving the change order for Northern Analytical Services LLC in the amount of $12,000 for asbestos and
Report.
Been moved and supported to approve the change order from Northern Analytical Services LLC. Discussion.
so in light of the change order for quality environmental services, we obviously realize the scope of work has changed dramatically. We've gone from taking the drywall off one side of the wall to moving the entire wall. And that's gonna happen throughout the building now. So obviously, we're gonna need additional testing beyond just the original timeline that we agreed to.
I think the estimated extension of timeline of the project is 3 weeks.
Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Embry,
Yeah.
Commissioner Jelzinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yeah.
Commissioner Marino,
Yeah.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yeah.
Commissioner Holt. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I will be working the Finance Administration Committee.
Thank you, Commissioners, and that brings us to Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
First item, Motorola final acceptance certificate. Motion reads, move to approve the Motorola final acceptance certificate for the 911 console project and approve, authorize the board chairperson to sign and say.
Been moved and supported to approve the Motorola final acceptance certificate discussion.
Well, back in 2019, the equipment at the 911 emergency building was hit by lightning. That equipment was covered by insurance, and they replaced that equipment with the current upgrade in services, without any fees. That equipment has come through extensive testing that works. A director expects it to work, and he has signed off on it. And so this signature of the certificate finalizes that agreement with the insurance that they do.
Very good. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Embree?
Yeah.
Commissioner Delzinski?
Yes.
Commissioner Engler?
Yes.
Commissioner Marino?
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney?
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hope?
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passes, Mr. Chairman.
All right, item number 2, milestone 2 payment. Motion is moved to approve payment to Motorola milestone 2 in the amount of $430,746.80 for the radio tower project.
Support. Been moved and supported to approve the Motorola milestone 2 payment discussion.
This is the second payment that we'll be paying to Motorola with this $4.5 million project that the state is providing funds to Isabella County for. Full project will see increase in communication between emergency services and sheriff's department, first responders in all of the county, including buildings that traditionally are officers here with their personal radios, like CMU buildings, big box, or like Walmart, and also high school in Shepherd, or the casino buildings inside the state. So the state has invested quite a lot of money that we pay the bill initially and usually see about a week turn.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say, this particular project has been really long-standing goal for the county board. Years ago, the feds changed the communication frequency requirements for communication. And this left a lot of the volunteer fire departments and the out county areas in a tough position because we had equipment that they've been using. It's not compatible to the new frequency. We had brownout areas in the county that you could not communicate. We had building communication, lack of communication inside buildings. And you gotta imagine, this has been something that could endanger somebody's life. You need to call an ambulance or assist somebody in terms of a fire, and you don't have it. It's a life-saving measure. So I do want to give credit to the sheriff's department. Not only are we starting to resolve some of these issues, but if there's funds left, there's going to be equipment that's going to be rolling out to the rural areas of the county to come bring them up to grade with the equipment that's going to continue to serve them years ahead. And a lot of these problems that we're hearing, they're multi-year. You don't solve them right away. You don't have the finances to solve it. So this is a effort by the sheriff's department to work with the state to get funding for this tower and that possible equipment spin out later.
What is Tony Brandon? 8 million. So that's revenue in and then revenue out. It's money from the state, but it has to be added to the sheriff's line item in the budget. So it can only be used for the tower project. So. Right. Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Delzinski?
Yes.
Commissioner Engler?
Yes.
Commissioner Marino?
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney?
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Emery? Commissioner Holt? 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Response trailer and team mutual aid agreement. Motion reads, move to approve the Gratiot County Livestock Emergency Response Trailer and Team Mutual Aid Agreement and authorize board chairperson sign the same. Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the Gratiot County Livestock Emergency Response Trailer and Team Mutual Aid Agreement discussion.
Yeah, this Gratiot County got a grant to buy this equipment. It's not the trailer, you can put the camel in, but it's gates and ropes and things to help corral. And they're also, part of this agreement, they're gonna have people that are trained to deal with these animals. That doesn't cost the county anything, and really be.
Right, any questions? Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Commissioner Engler?
Yeah.
Commissioner Marino?
Yeah.
Commissioner Swaney?
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Emery? Commissioner Jazinski?
Yes.
Commissioner Holt? 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, commissioners, and now we bring us to human resources and public works.
First item is Drain Commission Office Maintenance and Assessment Coordinator. Motion reads, move to approve the elimination of the grade 7 system aid and the grade 10 engineering technician in the Drain Commission Office and approve the maintenance and assessment coordinator position at a non-union grade 10 effective retroactively to January 1st, 2024. Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the Drain Commission Office Maintenance and Assessment Coordinator discussion.
Okay, we had Ron Drew be the drain commissioner and Michael Lonsberry. At both our committee and the session. What we're trying to do here is restructure this Nutley County Drain Office, replacing the assessment deputy grade 7 and series of project manager. Grade 10, 490, and administrative coordinator, grade 7. Grade 10, retroactive to January 1, 2024. And the reason this is coming about is because the engineering technician project manager has retired. So moving forward, a portion of the position's responsibilities are being handled by Mid-Michigan Water. And as of January 1st, 2024, main responsibility has been taken up by the current assessment deputy position. So what we want to do is deal with this situation and in the vacancy of the engineer. Really, the duties. Questions or?
And let's just say this is a position which would be to save money at these times. And putting us in place to handle all the duties that we.
Right, moves us from 4 full-time to 3 full-time. Some of those duties from the engineering technician were subcontracted out, and some of the other duties, the assessment aid is really stepped up to take on a lot of those things, and we appreciate that. And so we're restructuring one position from 2. Any other discussion? And hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Commissioner Marino?
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney?
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson?
Yes.
Commissioner Emery?
Yes.
Commissioner Jazinski?
Yes.
Commissioner Engler? Commissioner Holt? 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, commissioners. We have no intergovernmental affairs, no administrative controller issues, no unfinished business, under new business, one item. We have a proposal from Spicer Group. And, Vice Chairman Jim Sinsky, would you like to present?
Consider approving a proposal from Spicer Group Architectural Engineering Services to rebuilding the county administration building in an amount not to exceed $162,000 and authorize the board chairperson to sign the ensuing contract once approved by our legal counsel.
Or been moved and supported to approve the proposal from Spicer Group. Discussion.
As you can imagine, we're gonna end up with 3 floors of the empty shell. And it's really built 52 years ago. We probably required to meet current code. Going to probably look at fire suppression. We don't know those answers. We know that cabling for computer age is, they have to come up to code. Up to probably not the code, but up to current standards, industry standards. So there's nobody on staff that has those kind of skills. So we have to go out to a professional to plan this. Because we're gonna use this building for the next 20, 30 more years. And so right now, it's our chance to do it right and serve future residents. Building that's gonna serve their continued needs too.
Just to give a little background of why we're here in this spot, I guess, we had a plan to replace some very old HVAC equipment, probably the original to the building, I think. And to do that requires an asbestos survey, which asbestos was found, some of it was found during that survey. More of it has been found later on. But I guess the point I want to make is we would have found ourselves in this position at some point, if not now, at some point during some kind of replacement of mechanical systems or remodeling. At some point, we would have found ourselves in this position that we are in today. Commissioner Engler.
Yeah, the last study of the building and talking with their maintenance manager and stuff, the last couple of years, they've had piping issues. As far as some of the piping is getting real off, which we know electrical's bad, the plumbing is really old. We were gonna have to get in the future, probably 5, 10 years to go through and replace all the piping in there. They've had a lot of leaks and stuff, problems with that, so. Like I said, that was one of the things we had to start that project, so.
Yep. Yes, sir.
We had a meeting with Spicer and the architectural, which is Spence Group on the Saginaw. And one question that I've been asked a number of times when I go to my township meetings is, why don't you just sell the building and build new? And so I posed that question because I didn't have answer it, although I suspected that there was no comparison between the two. So what we were told is that to rebuild your current building and bring it up to usable standards again, you're talking probably $200 per square foot. So we got 29,000 square feet there, so that's probably $5.5 million. To build new, you're looking upwards of $600 a square foot. So now you're looking at 17, 18 million. Best bargain that we can move forward with is continue using the building, which makes sense, it's right next to our court building. And continue operating on that for large foreseeable future. It does not make sense to sell the building and rebuild.
Yes, sir.
During that meeting, we discussed the idea of consolidating our existing offices to try to create space that we could potentially rent. And to our department heads and our electeds, I'm very much looking forward to meeting with them to see if how we can improve efficiencies within each department in order to create that space that we need in order to generate revenue. So, thank you.
Good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Embry. Commissioner Jazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler. Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt. 7 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
And that completes the business and general public comment. Anyone? Seeing no one for general public comment, commissioners. Yes, sir.
Remind me. Okay. I guess I want to make a comment about the signs and some of the other media that's coming. People have a right to do that. But I read the article in today's newspaper. Apparently, nobody wants to own up to ownership of the 38% tax increase signs. And I can understand why. The word here was disingenuous. I think it's bordering on a lie. When you take a look at that, I went in, took the time, because I try to be an informed voter. And I went in and looked at my own tax obligation, get that information, website. And I determined that my current tax obligation for my 5-acre home on 3 acres on Shepherd Road, Chippewa Township, the biggest charged a little bit over 29 mils and total tax. So you divide that into 2.5, and I'm paying, we have a 9% increase, nowhere near 38%. And that 9% is going to cost me $166 a year. And it's when it's looked at this article today, and I think it was quoted here from Matt Miller, and I know Matt, but I'm just concerned. Using this could be used as an uncontrolled slush fund. I think that is a direct insult for this county board. Our meetings are online, they're open to the public, and we have not did anything nefarious or wasteful of taxpayer dollars. We certainly have been struggling to meet and meet, had to draw from saving resources every year to balance the budget. But we've always acted in the best interest of the citizens of this county. And I challenge anybody that wants to take a look at that. Records are still there, go back. Probably 90% of the weekly businesses, very mundane, we do the thing, year in, year out, same grants, same type of things that we deal with. 10% of the time, yes, we have to take on some things that require some digging in. And we take sometimes weeks, sometimes months. And in terms of the jail, we took 5 years before we finally decided we needed to move ahead. So none of this is being done willy-nilly. It says it comes to restraint spending. Taxpayers deserve better from local officials. I don't know. We could have done, there's a lot of counties out there that are already cutting budgets. They don't even have them. Just generally got rid of it. They don't have some of the services that we still offer. And this article suggests that there's curious people out there that want answers. Well, I go out, I talk to people in my district. I don't find anybody here because they want answers. The gentleman gave us some questions. He wants the answers. But is it curious that we didn't just on our own decide to make that decision for the taxpayers? All we're asking them at this point is to consider providing additional resources to maintain services that we currently provide. We're not offering anything new. We know we have a deficit coming up. Are we going to continue services as we have provided for years? Or are we going to have to cut the budget? We're going to do that one way or the other. We're not going to do that because we want to do it. It's because we're mandated to can't have a deficit budget. We can't continue what we've done in the past. We have to bring it to some kind of conclusion. I don't know how out of touch. I think anybody, unless they sat in these seats, can know the decisions that have to be made in a one word. none of us are paid anything. We compensate for time and effort in this. We are not out of touch. We do the best we can for the representative of the county. The only other thing I'd say, nobody wants to take ownership of those signs because they don't apply. We got that in the mail this weekend, it is to a lie. Instead of being a 38% increase, well, this one's being up now. Spaghetti, which Matt Golden is the chair, but this says 37% increase. There's not one person in this county to see a 30%, it's 37% increase in their taxes. Another lie is Isabella County is asking voters to approve 2 millages, February 27th ballot. We have one proposal, a 2.5 operating mill. The other one has nothing to do with the county. And so these people are twisting information. They're the ones who are doing the disservice to the residents of this county, not this board. And all we're asking is have an input in this decision. We don't want to make it on our own. The vote on the 27th will determine how we proceed. That said, I did go to the Northern Michigan Counties Association Monday, and I did pass out a flyer that we got from the Michigan Association of Counties on some of the things that are working in terms of interest in the county the upcoming year. But I also want to mention there are 2 citizens initiatives that are probably going to appear in the ballot. One has already been approved, the language that Citizens for Local Choice, and that deals with giving back the authority for energy projects. Zoning to the local units of government. The other one is X my tax, and I know we've heard about this one too. Mag says the petitions are coming out now. And what it's proposing to do is eliminate the property tax. The state's gonna have to come up with some replacement. You know, the state is not fiscally healthy down the road too. They're not gonna be able to replace even our basic operating millage, which is 6.61. And if that gets signed, it gets on the ballot, it gets passed, you must hang a business sign for every local unit in the state, because we do not have the resources to upgrade. So they're coming up. The Northern Michigan Counties Association hasn't collected the annual dues in probably 5-6 years. We're gonna get a bill for $75 this year, but it's money we want to spend. Thank you.
Thank you, very well stated. Ms. Chairman Joe Lisinski, thank you very much. Commissioner Engler.
And just a real quick comment, and we've done a lot of meetings on different stuff too, and you know, until a couple weeks ago, I had 2 phones, up to 4 now. Phone numbers, I hopefully have to speak to commissioners. I always return every phone call. I'm sure that anybody wants us to show up or answer these, we will. You know, in my other district, we had an issue, and I had over 100 phone calls on it, and I returned every one of them. So we're available, I think. I'm surprised that I haven't gotten more phone calls about this to explain our position, and it's one of the things that I'm really surprised. My phone has not been ringing off the hook, so if I don't pick up right away, I'll get back to you. So
I know the rules of the game is that you can't have the floor again. Granted that, but I do have a comment. I missed it. It basically said, why didn't we go for a public safety village? And yes, we looked at that. We kind of chewed that over for more than a year before kind of making a decision. And if we went for a public safety village, that would not have solved the problems. Our financial problems was beyond road patrol. And we decided it's an operational issue. We've been struggling for a number of years. We need to right the financial ship. We can't do that without some additional revenues. Yes, we may have had some additional tax dollars coming in, but they haven't kept pace with the additional costs and expenses. You know, we could not have seen COVID and its impact on employment, We could not have seen the housing bubble and its impact on revenue sharing and our taxes. There's a lot of headwinds that we're facing, and not wasteful of dollars, we're just trying to do the best we can.
I'd like to add that the sentiment that I'm sensing from the people who are opposed to this village increase. I sense that they think that we buried our head in the sand. At least over the last year that I've been on this board, I can assure you that Madam Administrator, VDOC, we put them under the gun and asked them to make adjustments to our current year's budget. We cut millions off that budget. And we are in the process and have been in the process for months, looking at where we can make cuts. This is not something we're taking lightly. We've been prudent, thoughtful, considerate, trying to do the right thing and get out in front of this, be transparent. And I don't see, from my perspective, how we could handle this any differently than how this board and how our administration is currently handling the situation. So for me, for those folks that feel like that we're either being frivolous or not doing our job, I beg to differ, because I know different.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Yes, Madam Clerk.
I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit about our EV site. We have actually gotten into the new EV site, which is a early voting site. It is located at 2320 South Mission Street, and that's at the Stadium Mall. We have a security system that is up and running as of today. We will slowly start to move our stuff in so we can continuously test things and make sure everything is up and running correctly. All workers have been approved by Judge Black and Treasurer Pickens. That would be our election commission. And we are going to have 4 workers per site, along with a chairman and a township clerk. I just real quickly want to tell you, we have 3 precincts. So the 3 precincts are divided up by tabulators. So tabulator 1 would be Chippewa Township, Isabella, Gilmore, Coldwater, and Vernon. Tabulator 2 will be Deerfield, Nottawa, Lincoln, Fremont, and Wise. And tabulator 3 will be Sherman, Cove, Broomfield, Denver, and Rowland. So there will be 3 different precincts. So people wonder, well, you say there's 3 precincts, 3 locations, no. 1 location, but split up into 3 different precincts, and it's easier for us with the ballots and crowd control and everything else on that. We will be open starting February 17th at 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Each day through February 25th, and also to keep us safe, the workers, myself, and other employees. We will also have a police officer that will be there with us from the time we get there until the time we leave. So I think we have everything done correctly through the state of Michigan, and most of the stuff, not everything, but most of it will be paid for through state grant funding. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me. My cell phone goes up all night. I do return phone calls too. So does anybody have any questions at all? And
I don't have a question, but I just want to make it clear for anyone that that one site can be utilized by anyone in the county, correct?
right, if you are a city resident or city voter or Union Township, then you will go to Powers Hall on the CMU campus. And that is taken, or that is under the direction of the city clerk.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Any other announcements? And hearing nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn? Support. And moved and supported, all those in favor say aye. Adjourned at 7:58.
Commissioner Humphrey, did you support that? Oh, sorry. Thank you.